Burn live, man. Welcome to the Burn Live Show where we get no, I'm just playing. Welcome to the Burn Live Show, y'all, where we burn through conversation, trying to ask y'all some common sense, just everyday life and living, politics, love, and lust, and whatever you think that life is going. We like to talk about them, discuss them, try to make a realistic conversation out of them with my host, Money Demon. Boy be chasing the bag, chasing Hellcats to Mars and Mercury's and all that good stuff. How are you, sir? How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Also, I have Johnny after somebody else's heart because he can't find his jukebox. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing all right. I can't complain too much.
Hey, man, I'm starting to think you and a couple of the people, man, y'all hanging on threads. Like
What you mean?
like I see why you go to counseling. Oops.
Oh God. What is me having a I definitely do need therapy. I definitely do.
I always thought people that need therapy or people that thought that the world was like coming to an end type people.
No. Well, in
The
a sense,
world is
I do think the
crashing.
world is coming to an end.
Yeah, you think like the world is crashing, but I don't think you think that the world is crashing.
Not literally, no.
Hey, socialists over there, I don't think you're supposed to have all of that because the police is supposed to protect you, buddy. Not you protect yourself. No, that's what we got
Me
the police
socialist?
for. Huh?
Me socialist?
I mean, I'm making a non-funny joke at you. Yes, socialist.
I love my
And the only reason
guns.
I'm calling you a socialist, for one, you're showing off a lot of guns. Two, socialists really don't believe in guns like that in their home. They think that, you know what I'm saying, less guns, more policing to protect ourselves. They also do believe in governing themselves, but yet again, you would be what they would call if I'm not mistaken, I do believe you would be a little overkill. Just a little bit there, buddy.
I think I am socialist.
I mean, thank God you're not, huh, guy? Thank
I
God.
agree with some socialistic views.
Oh yeah, we know you do.
Yeah.
You ain't
By the
everybody
way,
making.
I'm not. I just want to say for the camera, I'm not showing loaded guns. All the guns that I'm showing are unloaded. I don't load my guns unless I need to. This one's unloaded.
I hope that's good to know.
Just
Good
want to
to
know.
know.
Just
And
want
welcome.
to explain good gun safety. That way you're not making mistakes like me where you fire a gun in the house.
Okay,
So
okay,
so you
okay.
must have learned. You must have had to learn the lesson there.
Yeah, I did. No, okay,
So
you want to know a fun story? Because what had happened was, so this Glock right here was loaded, right? And what I had did something stupid. So I had racked it back and then took out the mag. So there was still a bullet in the chamber, right? So there's no mag right now and it's empty, right? So I needed to clean the Glock, right? And to clean the Glock, you pull it back slightly, you hold this down, and then here, I'm gonna point away, even though it's unloaded, right? But you pull the trigger, right? And that releases a slide, and that's how you like clean the gun and shit. But there was a bullet in there, so I had fired the gun into my house. So I've learned my lesson. So just practice gun safety.
Amen.
that's what's up. So, any other quick, nice little intro stories? We need to do more of that. No, going once, going twice. So,
Not that I can think
so,
of.
so, we had a subject, y'all. You know what I'm saying? As you read the title, please like. Oh, hold on. Please like, follow, share, do all them YouTube, Facebook things. Please, you know, do that right there. Bing! Ha ha! Do that right there, do that there. And then if you're on Bookface, please do that right there. I highly appreciate it. Also, I'm gonna have to move him out the way real quick. You can also find me on Bookface at Burn Live LLC, YouTube Burn Live, TikTok Mega Capiche, X over there at Burn Live. Come holler at your boy. Okay, yeah. All right. I gotta get used to saying that stuff. Gotta start advertising myself. You know, that probably be like a quick commercial once I get the hang of it in the beginning. That I can cut and edit. You know? So yesterday I did like 3 shows late at night. I was up to 1:30 in the morning with people. And I had some very good views, I had some nice people coming in here. So I appreciate y'all coming. I appreciate pushing away. Now to the main topic of the evening, because I don't have too many other topics to talk about, is parents and the way they discipline their kids. I'm gonna let my boy Jonathan start us off with an opening speech of how we want to get into this, and then we'll take it from there.
Yes. So there's many different forms of discipline, and I believe it's important for us to those who have kids, or even if you're planning to have kids, to know the proper, I would say, biblical way to discipline them. I know there's a Bible verse in Proverbs that says, "He who spares the rod spoils the child." But what is that rod? And that's what I want to talk about. What the rod is, who the rod is, or even how to use it. So, yeah.
Okay. Money on my little box. You not up in no camera, homie. Just to thought I'd let you know.
Oh, my bad. See, I ain't used to fucking TikTok box.
Hmm.
I just be chilling off to the side and shit. My bad.
I'm glad I sit straight up. Now, only thing I got a difference is learning how to sit straight in the middle. But to keep on subject,
And I'm gonna throw it out there. It is not physical.
the rod.
It's not physically hitting your child. No.
So when they say rod spoils the child,
No, if you spare the rod, you spoil the child.
if you spare the rod, you spoil the child.
Yeah.
I think that goes into just you have to somehow instill the goodness and grace. No, I said that totally wrong. I'm trying to be nice. You have to instill fear into child so child knows good from wrong. So therefore, it makes your job easier.
Mm.
Now, you may they may sound harsh to a lot of people to hear it like that, and I'm saying it, but I think I have to say it that way to get to the point of where I'm trying to get to. You have to somehow instill some type of fear. If you don't fear the socket, you're gonna always stick your finger in the socket and get electrocuted. Once you get electrocuted, if you don't fear it, you're gonna keep doing it again until you know you end up dead, or you end up in the hospital, you end up hurting. It's the fear of the consequences that you must steal into somebody, so somebody to understand right from wrong. Most people who do wrong is because they don't have no fear of consequences of the outcome.
Mm.
Okay. Can you give an example of like a situation that you're talking about?
What type of example would
Like
you like?
like in practice, like say, I don't know, maybe you catch your kid uh
I think I
uh
did. I
sneaking
gave
out
an
the house.
example. I gave an example. I just didn't give the best example, like the light socket.
So how would
Okay.
you go about instilling the fear into them for them to
Now,
not touch the light socket again?
now that is where you. I don't know. I know, but it's just like shit. I gotta be so straight forward to really
Here.
explain. There's no way to.
Let's think of like a different situation. You don't want your kid smoking weed, right?
No.
No. Okay. So say I don't know how old your current son is, but like 16, something like 16, right? He is 16-year-old. Maybe you catch him with the blunt in the backyard or something, right? Or wherever you live, I don't know. How do you go about instilling in them not smoking weed? Like, how would you
Uh,
personally handle that situation?
I would handle this stuff personally, but I don't think I'm allowed to express that on YouTube and Blueface and
Oh,
express it.
why is that?
Huh?
Where you would beat his ass or something?
I'm gonna go with the or something.
Or something?
Or something, because you said beat his ass or something. So I'm gonna go with the or something.
You know, smoke with them?
No.
Uh, well,
It's always
fucking.
something.
So here's the thing, like, fucking, you believe in having a harsh punishment for something like that, right?
I think harsh punishment would be more like you coming in, your kid coming into the house cussing at you, cussing you out. What type of punishment? Are you gonna let your kid cuss you out and really use foul language to get
Oh,
you?
well,
Or are you gonna
here's the thing. If your kid comes in cussing you out, I honestly think that's a you problem to where your child feels that uh you're to be disrespected, right? I I'm not gonna say because there's like no logical situation where a good parent would get cussed out, right?
I can
Wrong.
see why you said that.
I feel a kid will cuss out a kid just because you told them no and you always told them yeah. So therefore, they feel like they can act out. Simple. A
That's
kid.
still what I'm
That's
talking
true,
about, right?
but let's talk about how do we get them to stop doing that? What do we do? Do we put our hands on them?
You put the fear of God in them.
And what is the fear of God?
How do you fear God?
How do you fear God?
Yeah.
How do I fear God? I fear God in the sense of not wanting to let him down.
Okay, then. You want to put that type of fear into your kids to where they don't want to let you down.
Right. So how do we go about doing that?
Every method is different for a person's measure because, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the old school way got banned, but yet again, look at the outcome of those kids into those adults.
Yeah, they fucking suck. Those people
Yeah,
suck.
terrible.
The
Terrible. So
people that
y'all,
grew up with getting beat as a kid fucking suck as people today.
how do you? So I suck as a person today because I was beat on as a child.
Well, do you
Is
do
it?
you believe it was because of those whoopings as to why you who you are now?
I mean,
Probably that probably
it's
is
the
why he is the
it's the
way he is
reason why
now.
I ain't in jail and I ain't gotten beat. Hell yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. We got our
Listen,
answer.
whoopings don't do nothing but install a
And
negative.
star.
It installs a negative reverence to the parent.
Yeah.
The kid will only do right by that parent because they don't want to get a whooping. And as soon as they get older and they get out of them whoopings, they gonna
And
look for the next person to whoop on them, and
here's
that
the
may
thing
be
that
the
you also
police.
here's the thing you also gotta think of. If you beating your kid, it's not because you're teaching them lesson. It's because you taking anger out on that kid. And the
Hmm.
kid knows that. That kid's
The
gonna
kid.
hate you forever.
So I hate my parents forever.
Hey, I got whooped.
Answer the question. So I hate my parents forever.
He said
I don't
that
know.
kid could.
He said that kid will
Oh, he
hate it.
said, "Well, okay, hold on now."
So yet
Shit,
again,
people.
I'm asking my follow up question behind that is should I be hating my parents forever? Because I got
I
beat.
don't know. I don't know your
Kicking cords,
parents.
belts, frying
Can I ask you a
pans.
question?
What's
Do
up?
you
Capiche?
think you deserve getting beat? Do you think you deserve getting beat?
One how he gonna say, let me ask you a question, but you jump him to the question?
All right, my bad.
It's okay. Um, that I was gonna ask Capiche. Do you believe that your parents set you up to be the best individual you could be?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you believe that they were leading you to the promised land?
To the promised land?
Yeah.
You have to defy promised land.
Heaven.
No.
So they did not make the best Capiche.
I Here's the thing. When people say like the stuff that you're saying about like we need to bring back like beating kids and shit, I feel that it's because
Who
you don't
said
know what
that?
good parents
Stop,
look like.
stop. Who said that? Who said
No, no, no. Like on the real, I feel like you don't know what good parents look like. And that's the problem. You just look to what your parents did and you go, well, I feel like I turned out all right. I'm going to do what my parents did. That type of shit.
Is that
So
true
you
to peace?
so I don't know what good parents look like.
I feel that's the case from people that say shit like that.
That
So
believe they should whip their kids.
have you ever asked them what do good parents look like to them?
To who? The kids?
What do you think good parents look like?
I answer my question first. Have you ever asked that question to these people that you felt that way? Because yet again, you went off emotions instead of having any type of facts to back that up. You just said you felt like that's an emotion.
Okay.
I felt.
Well, fucking, I know from experience and talking to plenty of people that this is the repeated pattern that I come across.
Okay.
Okay. Don't give me that.
Because you do the same. Here, let me get something off my chest. You do that same thing over and over, where it's like, oh, well, you said you feel. It's like, man, I am lightening what I'm trying to say for you by saying things like I feel to leave it open ended for discussion.
I just been trying to get a better understanding. That's if I can't understand, I can't articulate what you say properly. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Then I am gonna misunderstand what you're trying to say. And unfortunately, people like to use other phrases to mean other words.
Yeah, some people do. That's true.
And so, you know what I'm saying? That's why I have to make sure if we're talking from a feelings or we're talking more from you actually did a little bit of research. And like you said, you're not talking from feeling, you talk from actual a little bit of research that you have done because yet again it was a repeat. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'll be trying to figure out. Come on now. People that were abused and for as the understanding the abuse. Like I was abused. I didn't do nothing. My parents took their anger out of me because there was alcohol or they was drug infested or you know what I'm saying. I remind them of their um, baby daddy or baby mama, so they took their anger out on me. Those are cases of abuse. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no explanation behind the kid's punishment of what the kid did. In my case, I have to be honest when I say I was bad. And I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not trying to say, oh, I was bad. You know what I'm saying? During the 80s era, during the crack era, during a lot of gang violence, you really don't want to be outside as a little kid, not knowing your surroundings. Well, I was outside just chilling, being a kid, being a real kid, not knowing that they're selling drugs across the street, not knowing that the dude just stole a purse from a person he's running down the street and I might have tripped him and I might have been, you know what I'm saying, being a kid. And so most of my punishments was because I was either gone for a very long time past curfew. Um, I used to lie repeatedly, constantly for no apparent reason. I just lied just to lie. I used to steal because I wanted a certain toy in a toy store, and my parents couldn't afford it, even though they made decent money. They were trying to teach me the values, or they was going through financial problems at the time, or whatever. So I went upon my own means to get, you know. And yes, my parents stole Bible things because thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not lie, and stuff like that. So when I say my punishments of getting whooped were valid, yeah. And then I can't say there was a time where I thought like, oh, you know, that wasn't valid because yet again I may have had a perfect excuse, but yet again I was being disobedient to my parents. My parents had strict rules. I lived under their rule. They provided for me. They did everything for me. So why should I be disobedient to them?
Now, how old were you when you were, how old were you when you remember your first whooping?
How old was I when I remember my first whooping? Don't know.
You can't recall your first whooping? You recall it?
No, I can't recall it.
You can't recall your first whooping?
No.
Okay. Do you recall how it felt? Like meaning like the build up to it, the oh man, I'm about to get whooped type of thing. Do you recall that?
No. I do remember the letdown. It was just a big letdown.
What you mean by letdown? Tell me.
Like letting your parents down. Like I did something so bad that my parents yelled at me, put me on punch. I do believe my first punch. Some things people don't realize, and I'm just put this out here is
Uh-huh.
ever since I was a kid, I had my own room. Okay, and I don't mean my own room like my own room. I mean my own room with my own door, with my own TV, with my own like had my own. And I'm an 80s baby. Okay. So a lot of people in my era don't remember having TVs in their rooms until they was in the 90s and I'm talking about late 90s. And I'm like, shit on a bull. I had a TV in my room when I was 8, 9, 10. Even younger than that. I had a TV in my room. Like, stop playing. My parents didn't want me in the front room. I was very highly energetic. You know what I'm saying? My parents kept me into sports. I played sports all year round. That's why I'm able to talk about sports. I'm so into sports, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Um, Things back at that time was my neighbor wasn't never next door. My neighbor was like a mile down the street. Okay. So when I'm going to my friend's house, I may be 10 miles down the street. You know what I'm saying? Climbing trees in the forest, playing with frogs, playing with turtles, and stuff like that. Is when I got into the hood a little bit later, is when stuff that I used to do in the county, I was doing in the city, and they had to punish me to get me to understand to adjust because I didn't want to adjust.
Yeah. So they didn't really take into an account how moving from the suburbs to the city may affect you and how you go about playing.
I mean, they knew that, they understood it, but they have to, you got to understand, and I have to understand, is that they had to make a hard decision. You know what I'm saying? I can go deeper off into that, but I'm not. But understand, they only made that decision because, yet again, of a situation that they put themselves into.
Nah, we're not talking about that. We're just totally speaking
I'm
about the
talking about
weapon.
the reason why the adjustment had to be put there. The adjustment was put there because, yet again, we had to change environments. Not because we wanted to, we had to. It's a
Right,
difference.
but we just speaking about the weapons right now. That's it.
We're speaking
I
about
was
the whoop.
just
So therefore, I'm adjusting to something that I don't want to adjust to. Yet again, I need to be reconciled because, yet again, things that I was doing condemned to put my life in danger.
right, but that doesn't justify you getting a whooping.
Here, let me say something. So like I got different parents, right? Now I have different experiences with different parents, and I'm not gonna put labels on which parents it is because I feel like that's pretty personal, but my parents all handle me in different ways, right? Like, but I have one parent that would like whoop me and shit like that. And I understood what it was as a kid. It was out of anger, out of like taking anger out on me and shit like that, right? And don't get me wrong, I was a bad kid, but you understand the difference. And the thing is, I'm the same kid when fuck, come on, man. You got to get out of here. I'm the same kid around every parent, right? But there's a difference when I would go over to one parent's house, right? That parent would uh like correct me when I'm wrong, and there's a huge difference because this parent never whooped me. And I respected this parent a lot more. And when I disappointed that parent, it actually meant something to me, right? And I would behave a lot better around a certain parent that didn't whoop me. It's based off of like who I respected more and who I was afraid of letting down, that type of shit. Whoopings have nothing to do with nothing, and it ain't gonna correct nothing because it didn't correct shit in me uh as a kid. Because I was actually a worse kid around the parent that did whoop me.
For that simple fact that your parent was trying to justify the reasoning of the punishment. You know what I'm saying? You was getting whooped in out of anger, out of whatever. And okay. What my situation, because yet again, I can say the same thing. I had a lot of parents. I had one parent that did more threatening and balled up his fist.
Huh?
You know, long as he had a drink, balled up his fist. Didn't swing, but just like balling up his fist. Just that's how he talked. Mother boy, who the son of a mother? I wish I could have bought. And you sit there and you be like, I wanted them, one of those, but never did. You know what I'm saying? Then you also had those parents that, oh, you're gonna and children understand what is what. They understand, like, look, this parent right here is nice and soft. I'm able to talk to him, able to come to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to be lingering with this parent and stuff like that. I'm also able to get away. Kids also understand the refrigerator rule too. If you're able to go in the refrigerator and you look, it's a difference of life code. You can, I know y'all probably like, what the fuck does this mean? But everybody's refrigerator is completely different. So you go in somebody's refrigerator and you look, you can damn, like I said, it's a life code. It's your survival. Your refrigerator is your survival. Boom. Okay. Wait a minute. Check this out. What's up in the fridge? You know what I'm saying? What can I grab? What's for the kids? What's for the adults? You know, vegetables, fruits, candy, whatever. You know, you got all that stuff. Condiments is a bunch of um fast food stuff at the bottom. Is it no food in this motherfucker at all? Is it only cakes and bunch of leftovers? You know, trust me, I've been through a lot of refrigerators and a lot of different things as a kid. Expectations when you go over different people's house does come different. You know, y'all kind of remember the first time you spent the night. Oh yeah, friend house. Okay, y'all remember the friend that didn't have much house that you spent the night over. Hey, y'all know how it was. If y'all don't remember, let me break it down. Pork and beans and hot dog. That's probably all you ate. You probably ate that 3 times a day because it really wasn't that much. You seen the noodles, you seen the hot dogs, you seen the hamburger, you seen all that good stuff. But hey, look at her. I don't know you. Y'all just spent the night over my kid house. Compared to when you spent the night over somebody's house that had it good, y'all had all the snacks. Ah, go get you some raisins and fruits before you go lay down. Oh, wait a minute. We don't eat fruits and raisins before we lay down. We eat cookies, high C fruit punches, nigga bologna sandwich with no miracle whip, nigga no cheese. What you mean? You talking about fruits and you see what I'm saying? Different lifestyle, different things, different expectation. Therefore, you come differently to people.
It
You want
makes
it
I hear
makes
what you I hear what you're saying. It makes sense, right? But it's not correct. Just because it's a different type of situation that's being brought doesn't mean that certain situations requires certain punishments. No, I believe that you can have the same discipline for any type of thing that the child does growing up that breaks a rule. can use the same discipline. It's just a matter of which ones we value more as parents, right? Like some parents may value disrespect like at the all time. So if you cuss at me like that, I don't take disrespect from nobody. So I may have to put my hand. I may do something to you that I don't really want to do, you know. Or they stay out late at night. You care about them. You don't want nothing to happen to them. They staying out too late. They may scare you, startle you. You know that may cause a reaction up on you. But I'm not saying that what a kid does doesn't affect us as parents because it do. We love them. We care about them deeply. But if we do, then we have to make sure that we're doing things in their best interest and their well being. And that
You
is
don't
why it
know,
starts with the relationship with God.
and I get it, and I understand, but yet again, you said key things of definitions of what your standards is. Everybody's standards is different. Everybody can take so much is different. Yet again, I am political. My punishment for my child is going to be different compared to somebody that lift weights. You see what I'm you see that's why I had to throw that in there. Very different, a different aspect of a person. This person that lift weights, your punishment, you know what you're probably gonna have to do. You're probably gonna lift weights and do push-ups and sit-ups all life as a kid. So of course when you get older, you're gonna be this big buff ass kid, but you probably either gonna hate doing sit-ups or you're gonna extremely love doing push-ups because that's all you had to do. You was in trouble so much, that's all you was doing. That's all you did. You see what I'm saying? Versus a child that grew up under a political standard where every time you was get punished, yeah, I need you to go to read the 13th Constitution. I need you to go read the 10 Commandments. I need you to go to read the Bill of Rights. I need you to go tell me all 50 presidents and what you see what I'm saying? Punishments are different. Yet again, this dude that is a lumberjack, his punishment is going to probably be different for his kids. A person on a farm, his punishment is going to be different for his kids.
Capisce? I'm not saying that. I'm not
But that's
saying
what
that it's
I'm.
not going to be different. But
It
that
is
doesn't mean
different.
that it's right. That still don't mean that it's right. It could be different. That still does not mean that it's right. Period.
You don't know what is right until after the person get grown and you see the after effect of a child.
I mean, fucking, there. I mean, fuck. There's just countless studies that all point towards beating the children is not helpful in the development of
And
a
yet
child.
again, beating a child is against the law, damn near in America.
Well, that's
Yeah, I
good
mean,
because
you
negative.
could slap him on the booty, you know,
I
But
mean, yeah,
yet
you can
and
again,
spank your child and shit.
you could
Yeah,
spank him,
but
yeah, but
yet
that doesn't mean
again,
that it's cool.
yet again, punishment of a child is damn near obsolete.
and that's a good thing. Well, wait, no, there's plenty ways of punishing a child
We talking
or
about
corrective
beating.
action.
That's what I mean.
Okay, well,
You're
yeah,
not
and
beating the
it's
kid.
outlawed. That's a good thing.
Okay, so therefore we're looking at a different time. But yet again, there's a lot of more cases of outraged kids now than there was back then. They don't understand me. How they don't understand you? We thought our parents didn't understand us either. I get it. Okay,
Okay,
true.
so y- do you think that these kids that are like on the streets and shit, let's just use that for example, do you think that they've like never been beat as a child?
I can't answer that question.
I can.
Okay, well, I'll
They
answer it.
are
They
they
all
are the
have.
ones getting their butt whooped. Yes,
Yeah.
they
Y'all
are
have
the
no
They
recollection of that.
from what I grew
yes.
up knowing, from my experience, me being in the streets, my mom whooped my behind. Me
Yeah.
knowing my boys and same moms with their behinds. You may have had one mom that probably ain't do nothing. Maybe
Yeah.
Okay.
one.
Have y'all heard the 3 aspects of life that you go through looking at your parents?
Elaborate.
There's 3 aspects you look at your life. Not everybody goes through all 3, but all 3 stages, you, you either think 1 out of 2. Depends on where you're at. Hopefully you reach 3. But yet again, 1 is when you're at a child and you adore your parents. Your parents are your superheroes. You look up to them. They can do no wrong. Okay. 2, the second stage of life is where you get into yourself, where your parents do not understand you. They don't get you. I guess, like, as we're elaborating here, they're beating you and you want to run away. So it's basically neglect of the parents. And then you got 3, your third stage of the parents, where you understand the trials and tribulations of what it took to raise your badass and what they had to do and what they went through. And it's called I can't even think of the word what it's called, but it's basically understanding the understandings of the parents and what they went through and trying to relate, because yet again you going through it and you're gonna go through it and you're gonna see that, like, damn, okay, it wasn't easy raising me.
Well,
Hopefully.
let me also say this. Have you ever heard Jordan Peterson talk about becoming a man and your relationship as a man to your father? Have you ever heard Jordan Peterson talk about that?
Yes.
I haven't.
Of how you're well, okay, I'll explain it for Johnny. So basically, you grow up, your father is your idol, your role model of how to be as a man, right? But eventually, at some point in your life, your father has to basically die in your mind, right? Which means basically you have to, at some point as a man, stop idolizing your father, uh, understand his flaws and all that shit, right? Uh, but it's basically like saying your father has died in your mind is kind of like, okay, now you got to pick up that mantle of being that image of what you thought your father was, right? And what was my relation, how was I going to relate to that? uh Going back and looking at how your parents treated you, right? You're supposed to understand, like, okay, they made fucking mistakes. And it doesn't mean that you should be like, oh, that's why I was fucking beat as a kid, right? No, you end up understanding, like, oh, they were doing that out of fucking frustration. I understand the frustration, but they shouldn't have been doing that. That's the way you're supposed to look at it, not justifying it and be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do with my kids because my parents did it with me. That's called generational trauma.
Okay. Because I didn't say none of that other extra stuff that you added in there. I said the 3 stages of life that most kids go through for as when they're parents. Yet again, understanding that once you become a man and the thing that you did and thing that your parents did that, yes, you didn't like, you hope you teach your kids better. You hope you put your kids in a better situation to where you don't have to go through the step that you went through. That is true. That's what you hope for. That's what you best for.
No, but the reason you were saying that was to be like, oh, you're when you become a parent,
That
you're gonna
no, that is not
understand.
the reason. No, that is not the reason. I'm just saying these are the 3 steps that all of us go through. Everybody has went through those 3 steps, no matter what part you're at, and some of us not even going to get to the third, because some people are never going to get past whatever their parent did to them, and that's understandable. You know what I'm saying? It's life. Some parents did some things to their kids to where it scarred them forever. They're never going to forgive them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, well, you can forgive them, but you know, you
No,
can
I'm just
still go ahead.
there are parents, there are people out there that are in that situation. You have to say
Yeah,
yes.
right. People
Yeah.
are, and we can forgive them, but we can still find the act of what they did inexcusable. And it's kind of like, how do we find that line? And I believe that we got to rely on outside sources instead of the Word of God to help raise our kids, because it seems like it gives us more comfort for the
So do you
future.
believe in a village raising a kid?
In what way?
In the sense of the phrase.
In the sense of the phrase, not necessarily. No,
So no, you don't. So yet
no.
again, how they raised back in the 1800s all the way up to the early 1900s into the 30s, where the whole village raised a child, you disagree upon, because that's where that phrase comes from.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that.
anything that's not biblical, I disagree with. Because I mean, if that's where we started, look where it led us up to. So no, no,
So that progress into today's society, you would say was wrong.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting. I would want to go deep, but I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Not today on this one right there. Not on that one, because we're talking about punishment. But yet again, if you really look at it, y'all are punishing the past for damn near everything.
Well, yeah. I mean, it started with Adam and Eve, from my perspective. You darn right, it started with them. They the reason why, in my eyes,
No,
we in this
no.
predicament now.
Under your belief, this started in heaven with a
Uh
jealous
oh.
person.
Yeah, it started there. Okay, if you want to take it farther back, yeah.
I mean, for as where you should want to take it. If you want to be mad
Well,
at
not
anybody,
necessarily. Well, I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not.
I'm
I
just
don't hold
saying, if you
any.
want to take it back to who started the reason why we in this mess right here, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're
And
not gonna just hold on. Wait. Let me pause. Let me just make this statement clear. Just because what happened in heaven happened, that doesn't mean that what happened in the garden should have happened.
okay, so let's get back on this. What you call it? Cause money, like, where y'all going with that? Y'all going way off subject, which we were. But
Like
anyway,
back what I was saying, in the biblical sense, Christians should not be whooping their children. And it's unbiblical. Why? Because God does not do that to you. And we are supposed to be a reflection of Him. Um, he corrects us. He tells us what we should and should not do, and
but yeah,
He allows for us. Right?
if that's true,
Go ahead.
which I'm not denying what you're saying is true, but if that's true, that means Christianity will have to take over America. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, there's gonna be so many people that is against that. And I'm not
Yeah.
against what you're saying, but I know if man, if the algorithm was popping, you know what I'm saying? If money was really, you know what I'm saying, had a Red Bull in him, he'd be like, well, no. I'm just keeping it real.
You want me
You
to
know,
argue with that right now?
it's totally
Hold
up to
on, hold
you.
on. Let me say something. Let me say
Yeah.
something. I don't have a problem if you believe that your Christian values are like if there's good Christian values, but my problem is force of worship. That is what I'm against. I don't think that the here's the thing: the country was founded off of religious people and religious values, right?
We're gonna do
That's what
this.
made,
I'm gonna
yeah,
do this.
quote unquote, right? Here's the thing: the country was founded by mostly Christians and mostly Christian values, right? And in that sense, I am fine with that. The only thing that I am against is the forceful practice of religion. That is the only thing I'm against. But as long as religion is practiced correctly and to the teachings of Jesus, I don't have a complaint. My problem is the force of worship. That's the difference with fucking making it a Christian nation of what people commonly talk about.
And to piggyback off of what you said, um, you know, this nation was built upon the free will love of God, the freedom to pursue whatever you want to do,
And
right?
that's a Christian thing. That's a Christian thing. You're supposed to freely go to God. It's not force. It's not Islam. You don't
Yeah,
forcefully convert people to
That is
Christianity.
true.
true
That
indeed.
is
That
true.
is true. You don't do
That
that.
is true.
That is true.
I'm with
And
you on that.
I totally agree. And worship, well,
Oh no, you're muted. Am I muted?
No,
Oh, John, you're muted.
he's not even muted.
Uh-oh. Hello? Oh man. Okay, did you want to piggyback off of anything we're here? Can we hear you? Oh. Okay, did you want to piggyback off of anything we just said?
I, no.
my bad.
Because you agree.
Okay, I
Okay,
must have
we
missed
can hear
something. Go
you.
ahead. Y'all can hear me?
No, you didn't miss
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
Amen. So what was I gonna say? Free will, love of God. What do you mean by worship? Are you talking about like go to church in a sense? Like, oh, you gotta go to church, you gotta do this, and you gotta like that form of worship is what you're saying that's forceful?
Uh, I I think that there's it doesn't have to be necessarily forceful
Who forced?
worship.
Who,
There's
where is it forceful at, though?
okay. This has nothing to do with forcing, or I don't know if it has anything to do with forcing worship, but it has to do with forcing religious ideology, right? Texas putting the Ten Commandments in school, but it was blocked because of obviously America's strong stance on secularism, right? But Texas is trying to make it to where every school classroom has the Ten Commandments posted in their schools, which is against our freedom of religious laws and separation of church and state laws, right? Uh, and I believe it's a very Christian thing to not force your religion and to respect boundaries. Jesus respected boundaries, right? That like Jesus was very pacifist in the way he went about uh teaching Christianity, and I feel like that's very lost with a lot of the ideology of modern Christians.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. It is lost, and that's why I believe we're in the predicament that we're in now. Um, so we definitely gotta, as far as Christians, have to get back to a place where we can find hope for people inside of the goodness and the kindness and the compassion of God. You know, because the only hope that they can see for seeing people to change is telling them what they're wrong, condemning them, giving them the wrath of God rather than His love. So, you know, we do. It definitely is a lost art in Christianity, and it's definitely not being practiced throughout the church, especially in the United States. You know.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think, Vern?
I really have nothing to say on that, honestly. I I I don't.
I think Money Demon would be a really good Christian. You know what I mean? If you want to talk about a guy that could be a Christian, I think Money Demon. I think Jason would be a good Christian, man.
I grew up Christian.
Yeah, I can see you know a very good number of how things should be and where things should go. You know, so
Yeah.
Hey,
man.
I'm finna end this. Y'all just don't go nowhere real quick, okay?
You gonna end the live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Before, cause we on one subject, we kind of done with that one subject. Yeah.
Okay, amen.
Until next time, Burn Loud Show. Y'all just heard I'm finna end it. Till next time, we out. Peace.